Hey, I wasn't ready. Hey, I thought you were going to count us on.
I did. 1, 2, 3. We're on. Was I supposed to go further?
Oh, no, that's good, man.
Okay. All right. Yeah, there you go. We can do it over again.
No,
I can count again. I can count higher. I can count lower.
Can you start from infinity and work your way back?
I can. Infinity numbers of beer on the wall. I can go that whole route.
Infinity minus one numbers of beer on the wall. Infinity minus numbers of beer. I sing. I read infinity.
Well, welcome to another podcast of Raconteurista. What is this number? 6?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't care.
I don't even know.
I don't care. It just stretches on.
And I will apologize that this didn't happen because I had to go out of town, and then we had Christmas, and then we had New Year's, and so finally this is the first one of 2021. Here we go.
Yeah. Yep. Here we are, rolling.
2021, and it took me forever to get it all set up, but
That's all in the past.
Snake Taint
That's all in
t-shirt.
the past, Brian.
We got the Snake Taint on.
Yeah, but I'm not wearing mine like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like we called each other.
And we didn't. That was weird. We did not.
What are you wearing to the prom, Brian?
Oh, yeah.
Snake Taint t-shirt. Oh, I was going to wear mine, bitch. Now I got to wear my some other fictional band shirt.
I got to wear my bullshit Rolling Stone shirt.
Is there another fictional band?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's my new
Kitty Bingo.
Here's my new fictional punk band. Okay, my new fictional punk band, Prison Purse.
What?
Prison Purse.
Purse?
Yeah, Prison Purse. Think about it. How would you carry things around in prison?
Up your ass?
There we go. Prison Purse. It's a punk band.
Is that a real thing, or did you just make it up?
I think I made it up one time, but then I was kind of like going, wait a minute, that sounds too good. Even though I don't think I ever heard it, but I kept going, that just seems that, and I looked it up, and there was already out there. So yeah.
You know, I think I made something up.
Really?
But I've never heard it. I always say like, I don't have a photographic memory, but I have a pornographic memory.
I've never heard that one.
How can that not be?
But no, don't you love when you say something?
Yeah.
And because I do like a lot of comic books, and you do it, and you go, that's so good. There's no way I came up with
It's timeless. It's timeless. It's classic. It extends.
I love that.
It's like
pornographic memory.
yeah, it's like the first time I heard, it's like when I heard, when you like White Christmas or something, it's just classic.
That was White Christmas, pornographic memory. Bing Crosby,
Prison Purse.
Prison Purse.
Doris Day, Prison Purse. You can't put a razor blade between those. Doris Day's Prison Purse.
When you say classics, is what springs to mind now.
Doris Day's
So is it
Prison
Purse is for this. That really is the punk band name. Doris Day's Prison Purse.
That's awesome. And if she's not, yeah, Doris Day's Prison Purse. Hey, is there a way to make it better? It could be, not really.
Not really. Doris Day's Prison Purse.
Is there somebody more?
No. I think Doris Day's Prison Purse is perfect.
Yeah, it does work. It works on so many levels. Because she was kind of like, wasn't she homophobic or something?
What?
No, that's not her. I'm thinking of the woman that did the orange juice. I'm sorry.
You're thinking of that.
The orange juice.
Yeah,
Anita Bryant.
Anita Bryant. Yeah.
Anita Bryant's Prison Purse.
Yeah. That is better. You're right. You stopped it.
Or who's the? Oh, she doesn't deserve it. Paula Dean.
No, hell
Paula
no.
Dean's Prison Purse.
No, that just sounds gross.
Guy Fieri's Prison Purse.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's it right there.
Andrew Zimmern. I don't want anything that's been there.
When you said photographic memory, I had a guy one time that worked with me. He goes, "Yeah, man, I got a photographic memory." I was like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah. If I look at something like a tree and I close my eyes, I can see that tree." I was like, "Do you understand what photographic memory means?"
Well, I mean that is kind of true, isn't it?
I don't think so. I thought to me photographic memory.
I've heard it's actually a myth.
See, I've heard photographic memory to me is like on some book, like a page. You can remember exactly what's written because there are those people out there that can remember that sort of stuff. But a lot of it's also that like almost autistic spectrum.
Rain
they know that one thing really, really, really well. Do that.
I've heard that. I always heard Bill Clinton had No, he had a pornographic.
I'm about
memory
to say
too.
he had a pornographic
God, he had both
memory.
of them.
Oh man, that I remember.
I remember everything. I remember everything about.
All I remember is that whenever he was having an affair,
your pain.
I go, he was having an affair with who? And they showed me what was his name, Monica Lewinsky. I go, that's what? I go, what the? I remember like whenever you found out that John F. Kennedy had an affair, who he's having an affair with? Marilyn Monroe. Okay, well, I
Understandable.
I have a hard time complaining about that, but Monica Lewinsky, what the hell? What are you talking about?
You know, Bill, he liked a certain thing.
He liked anything.
No, he was kind of
really?
into the. You know, if you look at a lot of those women, they were like
They weren't
big
that good.
haired.
They weren't that good looking.
I think you know what? I think Monica Lewinsky was pretty sexy.
No, she's a cute kid.
And
And
I
I
remember
mean
the way
kid.
she-
I mean kid. When
There
he
was a
with
thing.
her.
Well, I mean, she was, you know, yeah. Well, he's a dog.
And that other one, what was that? Flowers? Somebody Flowers?
Paula Jennifer Flowers.
Yeah,
No.
she was good looking in Arkansas standards, you know. And nothing against anybody in Arkansas. Just that
Yeah.
I've been there. Sorry about that.
Well, you remember what
The other one.
Carvel? You remember?
Oh, yeah.
What he said about Paula Jones? She was another one that.
Oh, yeah.
That just goes to show you drag $100 bill through a trailer park, you know, telling what you'll catch.
Oh, really?
Which is a good line, but
But that didn't work for her because she knew exactly what. I mean, that was. You know,
well, he's a rat.
well, because I remember this friend of mine that went to.
No, I mean, look, guy looks like a lizard. Do you ever read that in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Oh yeah, when he took the acid and they saw the lizards down in the
but then he had
circus.
another thing where he talked about he was taking acid or something, and James Carville walked in and turned into an actual lizard. And
Oh, there's one
Anyway.
there's one he wrote at the very end of, and you know, because God, I love Hunter Thompson, but at the very end he was such a drug fiend that, you know, they couldn't get any writing out of him really. But he wrote this one called Fear and Loathing in Elko, and it's when Clarence Thomas was up for the Supreme Court, and it's this crazy story about Clarence Thomas, two hookers cruising through Elko, Nevada. This kind of wild, doing drugs, and how Clarence Thomas was wielding his power and all this stuff. I mean, it is awesome, man. He did it with Rolling Stone. It's
fiction?
fantastic. Well, no, it's an actual.
oh, so he was an actual journalistic account of him.
No, like it was one of the last things he wrote because he just was so bad at the very end. I mean, Winter said that he was like he couldn't, you know, he would kind of try to throw him work, but he just couldn't do it. He was just
Yeah, have
too,
you ever see that thing? It's supposedly about a day in the life of Hunter S. Thompson, like there towards where it was like you know, get up at 2 p.m. to, you know, take two rails of pure
Blow.
Colombian flake, then have a Hennessy and something, and then I mean, it's just like all, you know, just like a complete. And it
that's
couldn't
one
be
day.
true.
One day.
Yeah, supposedly, but it couldn't be.
We know that there was this one guy that was his assistant. He said that when he was going on to a TV show, he goes, it was always hell getting him anywhere because he would just. I guess if you're a really big drug addict, you don't want to go out or something, right? So he didn't want to go anywhere. So they had him in this one place, and he finally goes, and he starts going, he goes, no, I know. He's about out the door, and he goes, no, I got to change my jacket. I got to change my jacket. So I was going, God dang it. And he said when he changes his jacket, he's got all these drugs and all these pockets. And he said he's going through all this stuff. Like he's changing jackets. He take the drugs out of this jacket, start putting this other jacket. And the guy was just watching me. Finally goes, Hunter, he goes, is it worth being a drug addict? And Hunter looked at him. He stopped for a minute. And he goes, well, let me tell you, I know a lot of people that don't do drugs, and they're the most boring fucking people I know. This guy was like, all right, whatever. But it just seemed like a lot of work. I love him to death. Fear and Loathing.
I like his early writing, and then but you know, I mean, I remember seeing him on Letterman or something and thinking he was boring.
Oh, he was on Letterman. He
like
was
in person. He's just like, you know, it's like, how does, you know, he's just one of those, you know, he could put it down on paper, but just like in these interviews, he just came across like, what's the point of?
Yeah, I get you. There's certain people that are like, maybe if you were on acid watching it, you might be enjoying it, but beyond that, it's like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, Fear and Loathing was great. I thought Curse of the Lono was fantastic. You know, Fear and Loathing on the presidential Trail, was that it? Was it Fear and Loathing? I'm not sure if that was what it, Presidential Trail. That was a good one.
Well, it wasn't called. Is that what it's called?
It was something like, I don't know if it was Fear and Loathing, but
on the campaign trail.
Campaign trail.
Yeah,
that
was
was
some good writing.
That was Lono was a good one too. But like I said, just and the run.
Hell's Angels.
Oh, when he gets his ass kicked by those guys.
You saw. I mean, boy, like talk about foreshadowing.
Oh my God!
Hunter S. Thompson meets the Hell's infiltrates ass whipping. I see ass whipping somewhere down the line.
No, I forgot about that one, man. No, I screwed up. I read Fear and Loathing in college, which is really not a good one to read in college because...
That's when I read it. Why is that not a good...
Because I read it, I go, ooh, let's do all that. It was like not a good idea. I think it's
a great idea. Brian and I have a real disagreement on this. Let's just, on the record.
Oh, speaking of disagreements, do you need that changed?
No.
Speaking
I
of
like
disagreements,
looking into the abyss.
You want to try something that I, as I told you earlier, I have something that's going to push our collaborative bond either closer or further apart. You ready?
Okay, yeah, sure.
You ready? All right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
He reaches into the ice chest. I guess
I found this beer. And I was at a place one time, and they had just run out of a keg of it, so I didn't get it. And they said, either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. And I couldn't believe I found a 6-pack of this. And it's either something we're going to love or something we're going to throw away.
I know which way I'd put my money. I can't wait to try it, though.
It is called Best Made Sour Pickle Beer. If I can hold it up here.
I mean, they don't even make good pickles, do they?
So, I don't know. I saw it.
You know what? This is...
Yeah.
I got a feeling this is just like they drained off some pickle juice and threw some pure grain alcohol.
Here you go, little this.
Yeah, let's try it.
I don't know, man. Some guy was like, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I was like thinking, I'm probably going to hate that, but I could not. And this might ruin
Oh my God.
this might ruin the whole podcast.
What? I don't know, man. It's just like remember on that episode of No Reservations where Anthony Bourdain had to eat the warthog anus?
Oh man, this smells like warthog anus.
That tastes exactly like what I would think it tastes like.
Yeah, like you got beer and you poured some pickle juice into it.
It's like a shitty michelada if it just had pickles.
Oh, it's got a really great aftertaste though, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I'm telling you, this is just like they're like, what are we gonna do with all? You know, we when people get done with the pickles, they just pour that shit down the drain. And it's like, why can't we just
beer?
Sour. It's kind of brutal. I have to just say that I sort of hats off to somebody in marketing who said, you know, there's this sour beer thing. It's
so let's just sour the shit out of it with that. Yeah, so
2 thumbs up, I guess.
It has this weird aftertaste, man. That
it tastes like if you were drinking.
If somebody came over and like spilled into you with like their pickle juice and spilled it in there, and you're like, what the hell? So everybody out there, if you run into this, beware. Oh, do you want some more?
Yeah.
There you go. You can have the whole thing. I have a 6-pack.
I don't want the whole fucking thing. I don't even know why am I drinking. That's awful. It's the worst thing I've ever
I have a
had.
6-pack.
Let me see. You got a whole 6-pack?
I tried just to buy one. I should have just stolen it.
Thank God it's only 4.7% alcohol, Homer. Look. It says 12 fluid ounces and in parentheses, crispy.
Because crispy pickle.
I do like the logo, though. That girl, she looks like my girlfriend I had when I was in the 2nd grade.
Oh, really?
Pam Hill.
Man, look at you.
I like those kind of girls that, and she was the kind of girl that could, like back then a girl could, an average girl could kick your ass.
Well, no, every girl could kick my ass. There was no average.
Yeah, well, I mean, you never outgrew that.
To this day, I'm still walking terror. Past a grade school.
Yeah,
I think about good memories. I'm like,
It's like little girls with
Cynthia Reed,
with backpacks on straight spear. You're like, you're like Kramer was about the clowns.
If I actually jogged and I run past a grade school, it's like I'm sprinting. It's like Go, 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 go. Those kids are going to kick my ass.
Dave and Brian sitting in a tree. KIS. No,
Quit making fun of my... Quit making fun of my...
I didn't kiss David. I didn't.
Quit making fun of my podcast.
Raconteurista sucks.
S-U-X.
Raconteurista sucks.
S-U-X. Shut up.
God.
Shut up, Tommy.
If only we could I mean, you know how like Pink Floyd got all that school kids to say, we don't need no education.
Look here. We don't need no Raconteurista.
We don't need those guys at all.
Just shut up and eat your pudding and listen to Raconteurista. No.
No.
Because we're such a big hit in the Lower East Side of London.
Oh yeah, I think Soho's a big market.
Oh my God. Okay. I have my almost snake taint shirt. So due to that, I have the snake taint tie-in, and I'm taking a little bit of liberty on this one. It's probably going to piss you off, but I'm going there that way. Ready? The WooTack Clan.
No good. I mean, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. Okay.
Good night.
Ride a tainted pony, let the spinning wheel ride. I mean, what is so hard to understand about this concept? Why is it you can't? I mean, I'm all for painting outside the lines, except when it's like a parking lot or this particular concept.
No, because I don't care. I'm going to do whatever I want.
Wow.
That's
Rebel
shocking.
without a clue.
I'm going to do what I want.
Hey, you know,
I'm going to do what I want unless it entails going by grade school.
Okay, Loli. Okay. I know, girl. You go for it. You go for it, girl. You do your thing. You go. You beat the man.
I gotta go out a little bit. I gotta go outside the lines, just a hair.
Yeah.
Just a hair.
Wow. Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You broke the war. You just broke the internet, Brian.
I didn't know there was rules like this. It's so hard to live by rules.
AINT. Okay, if it doesn't have that, then it just, you don't stick a...
Really? You just said taint B. That's A-U-N-T.
Ooh, I totally... Okay. All right, got me. Got me. Yeah, you're right.
Speaking of breaking rules.
But it was ain't. Did they say ant, dude? Okay, hey, man. That's it. Anarchy reigns. Here come the zombies. Here comes the zombies.
I love it. This is what's going to break this whole collaboration up. No, it'll be behind the scenes.
No,
VH1 behind the scenes. Well, it was all fine and dandy until he fucking said, instead of tang, he said taint. And that's when it went down.
When they finally do the documentary, we're both like 80, gumming or what fucking why?
They're still pissed off.
He can't say taint. When he said, and he's like, WooTack Clan. What kind of moron were like, is that the stupidest thing? I didn't say nothing at the time. I just kind of like filed it away. It's like, get away from this motherfucker now. He's bringing you down, baby. You're the talent. That's what I thought.
And I'm the back going, and he said ain't, A-U, and he told me A-I. It's a different fucking vowel.
What a hypocrite. What a fucking hypocrite.
Well, between the pickle juice and
WooTack,
this is going down quick.
Wow. This is
I better get back.
This is what you call a dumpster fire. Isn't it?
We're gonna go ahead and call this even though it's 2021. I think we're gonna call this a 2020 podcast.
Yeah, well, it's just this is the taint of 2020.
This is. There we go. All right, and this is a Ray Compero Joven.
Or Ray Compero Joven, if you want to really put the Anthony Banderas into it.
The Anthony Banderas. That's good. Oh, I just burped. That's really good. All right. Another thing I want to do here real quick.
Okay.
I have new music that I wanted to turn you on to. You haven't heard this yet, but people out there, check it out. Band called Country Westerns. I've been reading about a year-end list, and I can tell you on the year-end music list, most people, for some reason, hey, your ride's here. They seem to love psych jazz for whatever reason. But country western, the country western
jazz.
It's all these guys doing the list. It's like terrible music, but they did this one.
What is psychedelic jazz?
Yeah, how horrible is that?
Well, it sounds great if it's done right.
Well, I don't think there's right. Is there a right way to do that?
Of course there is.
Really?
Yes.
Who?
I don't know. I hadn't thought of anybody yet. Well, what about? Let's see. Let me think. I mean, yeah, it's all kind of people that did. Like there was a guy named Melvin Sparks, guitar player. There's like, Miles Davis, man. Didn't Miles Davis wrote the fucking book on that kind of stuff?
Not on psych jazz.
Sure he did.
Not psych jazz.
What does that even mean? I don't even know.
Exactly. I don't know what it means.
Well, I'm not going to go to bat for it that big. I don't even really know, but I'm sure somebody's played something you would say, that's kind of psychedelic sounding jazz music. It sounds great. I'm just saying.
Oh, I would have said the first part, the sounds great part. No.
Whatever. Jazz scares some people.
It does me.
No, I don't get it.
I know. No, it doesn't. I have to admit, I try to like jazz, and I've done everything, but it just never resonates with me for whatever reason. I mean, I love Thelonious Monk, and I love all this, but and Parker, I listen to them, but to resonate with me, to grab me in, no, it doesn't do that. For me. Does it you?
Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, jazz is I've had to, I totally get what you're saying. I had to work to actually become like a jazz fan, so to speak. It's like, I mean, I don't know that it is. I'm sure there's some people who hear
Their
something and just
works,
immediately,
yeah.
but I mean, I lived in I want to like jazz.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
and I lived in New Orleans for a while, and then, of course, I got my, I would go see jazz. And then there's a radio station in New Orleans called WWOZ. Everybody should be listening to WWOZ, best radio station in the nation.
I love you just put on your DJ voice. That's awesome.
And so they have, at least 6 hours a day of, jazz, in the morning and the afternoon. And so I would religiously listen to that. And it's over time you sort of you develop an ear for it. But I mean, look, my first thing that got to me would be just, boogie woogie guitar and Chuck Berry. And I mean, that can lead to jazz, but it's usually quite a leap.
Yeah, like I said, I have nothing. Anybody likes it, it's fine. But I've tried, and I can list little bits of it. But you go too far, and I'm just I got to crank up some music. Gonna crank it up, crank up some rock and roll.
Yeah,
that's just me.
Put some Journey on, get it done.
Fuck yeah, man! Don't stop believing, bro. Have I told you how much I fucking hate Journey?
Yeah.
Oh, I have. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Just want to make sure
yeah,
about that.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
When the lights. And then I did that. We're repeating ourselves.
But back to the whole jazz thing. Forget that shit. Country and Westerns is the band. If you like Uncle Tupelo and the Replacements, that's a killer band to listen to.
Well, I guess I'll be checking them out. Not.
Oh, really?
Who'd you say, Uncle Tupelo and
Uncle Tupelo? Do you know who that is?
Yeah, that was
Tweety and Farrar
before they split up.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, I know who the Replacements are, and I like.
If it in your gig, I get it. But I'm telling you, that's
this
good.
is a cross between the Replacements and.
It seems like it is. I like these two guys got together.
Are we going to listen to them, or you just?
No. No. These two guys got together in Nashville, and they said, "Hey, and this is what I love about it. Let's sing some depressing lyrics over fun drum beats." And I thought that was great music, great concept, and they pulled it off. It's awesome sounding. And there's one more. It's not new. I saw him here a while back, Orville Peck, because I heard him on the radio today.
Oh, Orville Peck.
Yeah,
Orville Peck is a. Yeah, you were talking about him. I remember you talking about him.
I just was driving down the road, and I thought, okay, if anybody doesn't know Orville Peck is out there, and you should go listen to him, because we did see him at Scoot In.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see him, but
And
you did.
It was like a crazy group, eclectic group. I mean, there's some guys I work with that are in heavy metal bands, and they were all there. It was just like this range of people, from heavy metal people.
Well, isn't his thing that he wears a mask, and isn't he like transgendered country music?
He's a gay country and western, and he always wears a mask. He was in punk bands, and he's like...
Porter Wagner was doing that years ago.
His mask was Dolly Parton.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want her to leave. Dolly, now I'm naked.
Do you ever see...
Speaking of Dolly...
Remember Porter's hair? When it
of course. It haunts my dreams.
Oh, yeah. And remember when he did it he did like a fro, like curly for a while there?
He had a perm.
Oh, my God. I remember as a kid.
The Rubber Room. You ever hear the Rubber Room?
No, I don't think I ever heard.
Porter Wagner?
I don't think I heard that one.
Where he, it's about... Okay, dig this.
Wow.
Porter Wagner
Wow.
in a rubber room in a straitjacket and writes a song about it. And it's got... I think it's like when they first discovered delay.
Did he write the song, or do you know?
Well, I don't know.
Okay. And I
hope so.
They just delay, so what did it say? Rubber. What did
it goes to the Rubber Room. It's like, it's about a guy that goes mad, and it's a...
Oh, my God. I got to so listen to this, man.
It's a cult classic.
Oh, my God. That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Speaking of Dolly... This brings up something I want to talk about, because nothing I like better than having my preconceived notions blasted to smithereens.
Yeah.
I think curiosity is one of the great traits of humanity. You know what I mean?
No.
Just
Explain
keep wanting to
explain it.
What's around the next corner? What's the next thing? What's the next song on the playlist? I want to know.
Curiosity.
Kill the cat.
No, I agree with you 1,000%. So how did this curiosity kill you?
I like having my preconceived notions blasted.
Well,
and
obviously best made.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought it was bad, and it is bad.
Yeah, I know.
I can't say that's...
I guess that was your preconceived notions were
solidified. I was actually right about that one. Let's just say
bad example.
This isn't good. I don't think, unless that last drink is really something special. Unless that's the last lick of the ice cream cone.
Something out of a Willy Wonka deal. No, it's really curable. Now they're very... there you go.
Shit, that's where the acid is. A tab of acid in every... that's it, baby.
I'm going to eat the pickle at the bottom of this.
So,
but go ahead.
Best example I can think of this is like... I went to sleep a few years ago. I went to sleep one night and the TV was on. And, I woke up and there was a show just going off. And I was just too sleepy to even change it, even though I was instantly repulsed. And what it was the tail end of a Lady Gaga concert.
Wait, you were instantly repulsed? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Because it was Lady Gaga.
It was the end of a Lady Gaga live at Madison Square Garden concert.
Okay.
And the reason I wasn't repulsed by what was happening on the screen, I was just like, my point is I had this attitude about Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Which is negative. Not that, and it wasn't just indifferent. It wasn't like, Lady Gaga does her thing and I don't care. It was always just like, she's what's wrong with music. She's a manufactured, no talent, blah, blah, blah. I had all these preconceived notions. And I woke up and I was too lazy to even get to the remote and change it. And then all of a sudden it went to like an outtake or something. And it was Lady Gaga backstage, I assume, with like her backup singers.
Yeah.
And there's just a piano there, and they're all wearing man, it looks like leather lingerie. And I'm like, that already kind of set, that's why I didn't turn it off. And it was hot.
Those guys look good in that, don't they?
She looked really good in that. But anyway, and so that, she's, and she just there's a piano in there, she just bangs out one chord.
Mm-hmm.
And then she starts singing Born This Way, which I even knew that song. I'd heard Born This Way, a cappella, with her backup singers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally wrong about her.
Yeah.
Total fucking talent, full of soul, just a mind-blowing, perform. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe how good it was.
I think she probably, you're like me, you probably lumped her in with some of these manufactured ones like you're talking about, but she actually came up on her own. I mean, she busted her ass on her own, and she has talent. She can sing, she can play musical instruments, she can write her own songs. But yeah, I get what you're saying, because you can throw her into like
Madonna. I would say, but I just, because I don't know that, I could be wrong about Madonna too. I just don't think Madonna's got like, I mean, what got me about Lady Gaga, and I don't even, this isn't even about Lady Gaga, it's just about the example.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that she's got she can really fucking sing.
Oh yeah.
And like anybody can sing, I'm going to give anybody like that.
And she did, and she kind of came up though, where you would get confused, or I shouldn't say confused, you would think she was part of that manufactured sort of deal because she got so big, right? And so you just kind of assume that. And all of her music at first was pretty overproduced.
Yeah.
But then you would see her do something. When she sang with Tony Bennett, holy crap, this girl's got, I mean, she can sing, man.
Well, the thing is, like, think of another musical artist that has sang, and I mean credibly, not just credibly, but like with both Metallica and Tony Bennett.
Oh, did you see that Metallica? Did
Yeah.
you show me that? Did you?
I've seen that.
Somebody showed me that Metallica one.
I showed it to you.
Was that what? I was like, what the hell? No, I mean, what I like, she has a great spirit. Oh, God damn it. Dave, you can quit. You don't have to. There's no points to be proven at this. You can get rid of that. No. What I like is that she'll jump into anything.
Best made, I will suck your dick. And it'll taste better than that shit.
Better be soured.
Yeah, baby. So anyway, so this is, so they kind of softened me up. The Lady Gaga thing. I'm like, okay, if I could be that wrong about that, then
You could be wrong?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a real mind blower at first, but the other day, man, I was like, surfing internet, and it was like, and I found this thing, and like Howard Stern has gotten where he's had like a lot of musical artists, and like usually they'll come in with like just a little combo, like an acoustic combo and sing. Like he's had ZZ Top on there and Metallica, and and he had it said Miley Cyrus sings Tom Petty's Wildflowers.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know if I can talk about this because it's
why?
It got to me so bad. And I was like,
Really?
okay, I'm going to watch it. Get Miley. I'm like, Miley's Hannah Montana, a brother. I watched it and I couldn't believe how good it was. I could not believe. Just emotional, soulful, warm, beautiful. She got choked up in the middle of it because she's, it's like, it wasn't that long after it was like Tom Petty's dead now. And this song, Wildflowers, is just like the most beautiful, uplifting.
Oh, yeah.
So after that, I went a total Miley Cyrus wormhole. And I'm telling you, man, I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of Miley Cyrus. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I became a big fan of Miley Cyrus. Can you believe that?
Not really.
How wrong can you be about somebody? That's what I'm saying.
I know. Well, apparently I've been very wrong about you.
Oh, good. Good. All this stuff she did, like she's doing all these cover songs now.
I gotta tell you,
she can sing.
She's
a great singer.
Donna loves Miley Cyrus. Says talk about how great singer. My friends dig it. I have been the one person that looks at her, and I know she can sing, but something about her just bugs me. Something about her, Lady Gaga, I get it, but Miley, because she's just so, what's that word, thirsty? She's so thirsty. So she's always out there trying to do something to get attention. But she can't sing.
Lady Gaga's doing the same thing.
Well, do you remember she was here?
I mean,
she went too far. She was here at Stubbs, and she hired this one performance artist that like drinks colored liquid and then throws up and was like throwing up on her and everything. And she's riding some bucking Bronco, and it's like, some Bronco machine or something. And this girl's like throwing up on her and stuff. No, it was happening at Stubbs. She did it for a while. That's when I think Lady Gaga goes, okay, I've gone too far. So let's get back.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna push the envelope,
go for it.
Then
No, but I get Miley. I know it's
I
funny.
don't see, but the thing is,
I should go back and listen to Miley because
you should listen to that. You should listen to her singing Tom Petty's Wildflowers with a little acoustic combo and just, with a violin. And then I got into the whole, and something I like about her, she's got this killer version of Sweet Jane, like.
Have you started watching Hannah Montana?
I'm getting there. I'm getting back to that. No, I feel real creepy watching Hannah Montana.
Have you got Disney Plus? Just for that.
The Mandalorian and then Hannah Montana.
Mandalorian and Hannah Montana.
She's Dolly Parton's goddaughter.
She is. Yes, that's right.
And she's a Tennessee girl. And you know what? And if that bothers you, then you can kiss my Dixie ass goodbye.
Oh, he just said Dixie.
I threw it down, didn't I?
He just said Dixie. In 2021.
Well, it's coming back.
Did you not learn shit in 2020? Did you not learn
nothing? Is that a bad thing? Just to even say the word?
Oh, yeah. Don't even say Dukes of Hazzard. You can't even say Dukes of Hazzard.
Thank God nobody
Well, actually, you can't say General Lee is what you can't say because what's painted on top.
Thank God nobody watches past the first 15 seconds.
Cooter.
Nobody will get to this part. Anybody still hanging on is
You're right. We can do anything.
Yeah. God. Yeah, why not?
You know what's sad? I thought you were talking about the Dukes of Hazzard show, and then I realized, he's talking about Raconteurista. That's how much in denial I am.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
What do you mean people don't listen to this whole podcast? Actually, I get the statistics off of YouTube. Yeah, I think the average time frame is like about 7.5 minutes.
I like the length of an average porn film. Boy, well, y'all some sick puppies out there. What have we done to make anybody? I mean,
what? Just because we pull up the best sour 7 minutes in, why would you turn off because of that? Come on, man.
Yeah.
I think you want to stick around and see if we start throwing up or something after drinking that crap.
That's what it is. That's truly awful.
No, you're talking about one. I kind of have one along those lines in an odd way of something that surprised me because when I went to school in Oklahoma, like college, we would go to this place called the Bowery and see a bunch of punk rock bands, and one of them was the Flaming Lips, but at the time it was like a 3-piece, and we never watched them because they were loud as shit. They weren't that good, and it was just one of those remember
the Flaming Lips were a trio.
Oh God, oh yeah,
wow.
and they were just loud feedback. It was just they would come on. It was just whoa, like this bit, and you're like, okay, this isn't worth hanging around for. Okay, I'm gonna hop on here, and so that's who I thought they were for the longest time because we remember they weren't that good. And then Soft Bulletin comes out, and I hear this, and I'm like, this is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard. And I go, those guys were like, they were just loud. I was like, they weren't that good. And I was telling my wife about it, and she was like, no. And I go, no, really, they weren't. And I got Redemption, and they had a documentary, and first of all, Wayne started talking at the front of it. He goes, yeah, I guess back when we were like 3-piece, goes, God, we were terrible. We were just loud as shit and feedback. And I looked at Don, I go, I told you that's what it was. But to see where they went, where they were, and what they went to is just like, holy crap. It's like there's another person that went bad, didn't do that well, and what he went to, Alejandro Escovedo, because he started off with the Nuns and then winds up being what he writes today is incredible, because the Nuns were so bad, they had to have people tune their guitars before they opened up for the Sex Pistols. They were horrible, and then he, took over and then, went and rank and file, and then, True Believers, and then on to his own thing. But if, being a punk, you wouldn't think he could develop the way he did, but he did. It's incredible.
Yeah. Well, he had several of these phases. My favorite phase of Alejandro was the Buick McCain.
Oh,
I didn't like the I saw the Alejandro Escovedo Orchestra a couple of times, and
Yeah.
it's just gloomy and kind of, I don't know. I mean, I like him when he rocks out.
I do too. He doesn't rock out as much as he used to.
No, I guess he's living in Dallas now, and
Yeah, there was something happened to him. He what's weird is, he got signed by Bruce Springsteen's manager. The only person that guy's ever managed was Bruce Springsteen, and he saw Alejandro and he signed him. But then something happened right after that where Alejandro, and I don't even know the whole real story, but he and his wife, and I think it was about his 7th wife, I don't know how many, but
that's a good
they
number.
were on their honeymoon in like someplace, I'm going to say like here in Texas, like Corpus, and I could be totally wrong about this, but a hurricane came through, and something about this hurricane gave him PTSD on a tour later on.
Yeah.
Where I guess he said he freaked out and he started pouring. They were eating and he started pouring ketchup everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
You ever heard that? Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started doing something, and so he had to like break the tour off, and then he wound up leaving Austin and moved to Dallas. He lives in Oak Cliff now, and everything. And I don't know exactly what happened to him because I think he's a great writer, but something happened there. But I don't know if Bruce Springsteen's manager is still his manager or not. I don't really know. I'm not sure. But did you ever go when he did a show at the end of South by Southwest? He'd do a show on that Sunday night at Continental Club.
I didn't like him that much.
Oh man, that was so much fun to go to that.
Yeah.
Because he'd have like.
Well, I was usually wasted by then.
It is true.
In the early days, I was pretty much like.
Oh man.
When I was going at it hard, which.
Oh hell yeah.
I remember
Did you remember that you bought the wristbands and they're like what, $30 or something? They
the
actually
first
worked.
one I got was $15.
Oh man. Oh my God. And you could go everywhere.
I saw one of the great all-time shows there. That year, I went to it's the Ritz. It's down there on 6th Street. Anyway, there's a band called, oh no. What the fuck? The Hiccoids.
Oh God, yeah. Wasn't Davy Jones in that?
Yeah, well, there's the
Hiccoids.
Jeff Smith was the...
Yeah, the Hiccoids were awesome.
I saw a show there, man, and I didn't know that too much about them, but, I mean, it wasn't like back then, there wasn't like many there was 15 or 20 venues involved.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't...
Oh, yeah.
And, man, these guys, like, they had, they were notoriously, like, drunk and, kind of out of control, punk, Hiccoids.
Kind of country punk, yeah.
And they had a bunch of bales of straw and hay on the stage. I guess that was part of their thing. And at one, and they were just playing this kind of grinding, just, out of control, just chaotic music. It was great. I loved it. And then somebody right in front of the stage yelled something at the singer, and like he was doing stuff like he would like take the microphone and put it down his pants, undo his zipper, and pull it, and put the microphone in his mouth, just really overtly, like just sort of like Iggy Pop kind of sexualized. And the guy yelled something at him, and then he took umbrage, and he just like kicked a bale of hay into the guy.
What?
Yeah, he just like, fuck you, and he kicked a bale of hay into the guy.
Oh my God.
And all you could see from where I was, which was a little ways back, was just this bale of hay being destroyed. It was like piranhas.
Oh my
just gotten a hold of it.
Oh
and
my
just, you could see all this hay, just chum of hay being destroyed.
Oh my God.
And they went into the next song, and then all of a sudden, like, the people down there in front started throwing wads of hay at them. And the bass player, I remember seeing him like just and what they were doing, like whoever the guy was that got his shit kicked, got the hay kicked on. Evidently, what he was doing is just taking the hay and he just poured got a handful.
So
of
it'd be
hay,
like your stick
just made a bomb out of it, and he just whoa, and the lead singer ducks, and it winds up in the bass player's strings, and he's like, "God damn, this ain't cool, man. We can't play," which was like a complete. was like taking the chains off.
Oh my God.
And like the crowd went nuts.
Oh man.
And then that's the guy Jeff Smith started just kicking all the bales of hay into the crowd, all of them. So like, and it just turned into mayhem. They're still trying to play, but the hay's going everywhere, and it's on this beer-soaked floor. And I'll never forget. And it turned into a giant Three Stooges style like food fight.
Oh yeah.
And like I remember at one point getting a wad of hay, and you would just get a wad of this hay and just bunch it up until it, weighed.
Oh, you jumped in?
Oh yeah. And I had this ball of just beer-soaked hay. And there's this guy. I think he turned out to be British. I think I met him later. He just looked very prim and proper, just standing in perfect profile, like 10 feet away.
Yeah.
And I just went, whoa! And then it just went, whap! And it went across his face, just like just. And I remember going just thinking yes, and for like a second. And the next thing I knew, from out of nowhere, it just went, and I looked around, and there was like this kind of spiky-haired girl.
Yeah.
Like kind of punky-looking spiky-haired girl.
Yeah.
With like, she was like laughing at me because I had hit that. She saw me just take out this unsuspecting guy, and then she's like, and then she took me out.
That's called karma.
And the whole thing, it literally just turned into I've never been so.
Oh my God.
It was one of the best. It was like total punk experience. One of the greatest things I've ever been involved with. And I remember walking out of there. It was kind of cold, and walking out and just seeing like people file out of there with just like hay stuck in the hair and just steaming. Everybody was steaming because
So good that cold weather.
God, it was great, man. And I remember, and I made friends with the singer Jeff Smith on Facebook. And I once wrote him and I said, "Do you remember this show?" He's like, "Yeah, we got sued by
what?
Yeah,
really?
We ruined all the PA equipment." He's like, "Man, the PA equipment was just full of hay, this beer-soaked shit. It ruined the entire sound system of the entire club." And if that's not, that's punk as fuck.
That's punk as hell, man.
Right there.
Oh my God, I love that.
One of the great. Oh man. Talk about yeah.
Oh, that's one of those stories that I hear and I go, God, I wish I was there.
I mean, it was had to be there, kind of just just picking. I remember an hour later still like.
Yeah, what's that? What's that?
There's a piece of hay. You're at some other club and you're like,
oh yeah.
Shit all over me. And it was and the thing it was mayhem, it was anarchy, but it was totally like happy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like everybody was laughing. Oh God.
I love that, man. That is awesome. When it just becomes this deal where it's like there's nothing malicious about it. Everybody's just having a fucking great time. It's so crazy.
Yeah. You take a look at all that. You've been to more punk kind of, you've been on those hardcore shows, but I've been to a few of them, but I was always amazed how it was kind of rare to see anybody get hurt. Mosh pit even.
No.
Unless somebody was an asshole.
Back before it was a mosh pit, it was like a slam pit, right? When it was a slam pit, it would be literally like for me to you, right? If you're slamming, like you're in the pit slamming, and I'm right here, I'm not, nobody would bother you. Right? It was like they knew that I want to be in this, and you're like, fine, go for it. And I never had that sort of two things. I didn't have that kind of anger, which came from the slam pit, really more like in England, which was like, hierarchy of
Margaret Thatcher, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. But then you had the privileged kids out in California doing shit. But it was like you were away from it. Now when it became a mosh pit, that's when people would run through with their elbows out and try to hit you and everything, But when it's just a slam pit, nobody. If anybody got hurt, it's because they wanted to be in the middle of all that, of everything.
Yeah.
But there was very few times that ever like what you said right there about this crazy, like almost Three Stooges-esque.
Right.
The only time I ever was ever around that is one time I went. My friend Kelly that ran Direct Hit Records. She had a little club called Club No, and My friend Kelly. I know.
Club, no.
No. Kelly is amazing,
That's awesome.
amazing, and like, you know, I told you early on that, like, you know, I would show up at their store and they were like totally cool, like little dork like me, come on, hang out, and they did this show.
You're a dork.
Yeah, duh. And they would do this Club No, and they had Green Day. I'm pretty sure it was Green Day opened up for Southern Culture on the Skids, and Southern Culture on the Skids came out and had like a bucket of fried chicken and started just fucking whipping it through the crowd. And next thing you know, you see people sitting there and you saw chicken legs like pinging off people's heads and all this stuff. And people grabbing it and throwing other people and it hit off somebody's backhand. Everybody's grabbing this chicken and fucking throwing it. It's like somebody's yelling and boom, and hit him in the face and then grab it and throw it back.
Colonel Sanders rolling over his...
It was so, but it wasn't as fun as you're saying the hay. People were throwing, they were like whipping those fucking things, man. I mean,
No, I've never seen like an entire, like a frenzy.
You sound like what you said there just sounds like this, like out of a Peter Sellers movie, out of The Party or something.
It descended from just like a guy, you know, it descended, I mean, it was minutes. It wasn't, it just went, it was like one of those moments when just the whole thing went whoosh. It's like, you know, those, I don't know what they call these things when you see like a bunch of birds in a sky flying and all of a sudden they all just shimmer around and go.
Oh, I know what you see. Yeah, it's like.
But it was just like that.
Oh,
like if
man.
human beings just, and I mean, like half the crowd thinned out because half the crowd immediately thought, we don't want a part of this.
Oh, yeah.
But the ones of us that were left, and I mean, it was just repeated. The whole thing was to like, and it finally got to where everybody was very wary. Like, you know, you just kind of stand there like the peripheral, see somebody
You're like you want 360 vision.
Oh, you total like Savannah, you know, like wait till just you're stalking, but you're waiting until the back's turned, and then you come out and you just, and if you're lucky, and I mean, you know, it finally got to where it was like, yeah, I got you, and then you would have to like constantly be lurking around it.
Oh my God!
Oh God, it was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But they ruined the entire club's like the sound, the PA. He's like, yeah, they were like, he said, you know, the next day's like they were picking hay out of the mixing board.
They just show up and pull stuff out. Oh man, they're in trouble.
And it's like they sued them, but they just like, man, you can't sue us. We ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
The Hiccoids.
100%.
Shout out, long live the Hiccoids.
I think because my friend Walter Daniels is big buddies with them.
You would have known them.
Yeah. You know, it's like, you know, you're talking about like participating on something. Like, remember one time I'd gone and seen.
Boy.
Nice. That's some pickle juice right there, man.
That's a best made burp right there. And it is.
That's MADEMAID. There you go.
And it was divine.
Oh, I remember going to, I'd been to a show right before I'd seen Soundgarden, like the middle band, and it was like a punk show, right? So they're like patting you down, pouring your beers into cups and everything. And so Soundgarden was the middle band. I think somebody Big F was the headline.
Even flow floats around.
Oh, that's Pearl Jam. But same city. Yeah, I'm glad you know your geography. So but then the next day I went and saw Sonic Youth.
How was Soundgarden?
They were fucking great.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you this. Did I tell you this story?
I think you did.
About the guy that I give the tape to? I think
Yes.
I probably did. Okay, yeah. So we go, the next day is Sonic Youth at Club Clearview, and I walk in and it's like, no, they're not patting you down. You're getting your beer bottles. I was like, well, I remember Sonic Youth being kind of punk as shit, right? So my friend Dickie Turtleop, my friend Bob, and his brother there, and he and I both were talking, going, I can't believe they gave us a beer because they used to be like punk. I guess they chilled out or something. And so Dickie and I go right up to the very front of the stage. We're like, yeah, they must be pussies now. I don't know, whatever. They walk out, and this place is packed. They walk out. The first thing Lee Ronaldo said, he goes, punk rock fucking rules, and they just start going doing this bit, and all of a sudden fucking bottles start flying everywhere, just going everywhere. All of a sudden Dickie and I, you've never seen two dudes backpedal so fucking quick. We were just like, I'm I'm not like this. We're like scooting back, and like, you guys do it. We ran all the way back, running the back, like, don't hit us. I mean, it was like fucking bottles were just whipping and pinging off people's heads and shit. It was crazy, man. It was nuts. And we just sat back there and just like watched this melee just take root there. Oh, and fucking Sonic Youth is just playing through this shit and all this
Sonic Youth.
Oh, just all this nutty shit was going on. It was nuts.
I mean, I know very
man.
little about Sonic Youth. You know, I've heard like the one record that's kind of good. What's the one?
Probably Daydream Nation.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Goo.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, but it was. But it was like really funny because we just the whole time, man, they must be chill. They must be chill now. It's like I couldn't have been a bigger wiener and moved back faster ever.
Mean, what's the upside?
I know. Like, yeah. The fucking no. You should have stayed in there and taken a bottle to the face.
Now I'm a fan. I'm a member of the fan club.
I'm cool. Fuck y'all. I'm cool. It's
I remember like
I have no teeth. I'm cool.
Yeah, right. Just wearing a beer bottle permanently, like ass face, and I remember driving like when there used to be a great departed Liberty Lunch Club.
I never went to that place. I think I've said it before.
Yeah, you can kind of divide the world into two groups of people: those that have been to Liberty Lunch and those who haven't been to Liberty Lunch.
Oh, now it would be different if it had been there and I didn't go, but I was never here when it was there.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Have some more pickle juice.
Yeah, that's a cure for world. Hey man, I think this gets rid of COVID. I was feeling bad. Now.
It actually might. I can see that.
I'm feeling weak. Fuck. Where is that locomotive?
I'm ready to take on Wuhan.
But anyway, I remember going. You remember a band called Guar?
Oh, I've got a good Guar story for it. Tell you later.
What can I?
Yeah.
I didn't see Guar.
Oh yeah.
I happened to be driving by. Like I guess as the Guar concert was ending.
Oh, at Liberty.
And a guy, yeah, and I don't know what happened. It was all I remember seeing like some really punk looking guy coming out bleeding from a gash in his head.
Oh, really?
And he had a broken Fender Stratocaster.
Oh my God.
And I mean, all I saw was like riding and I remember him just looking at it like in shock. Like not only is my guitar broken, but I'm gashed.
Oh my God.
I'm like, you bloody wanker. What do you think this is?
No, Guar, because they wear these
Guar.
crazy.
Talk about Guar.
Okay, I'll tell you the story about that.
I'm within earshot.
Oh yeah, okay. So Dave's within earshot for a very important reason. So this was back at. Did you ever go to Fun Fest?
I never went.
Okay. There used to be a great concert here put on by the Mohawk dudes, Transmission Entertainment, or Margin Walker later. Yeah. And it was out at Waterloo Park back in the day, and they had three stages. They had a metal stage, a punk stage, and sort of like I don't know, like almost an indie dance stage or something. And the best was the metal stage, because it was like dudes my age that were there wearing their metal shirts that were size medium, that they bought them back in the day when they were medium, and now they're not medium anymore. And so it's like really pushing the seams, the whole bit. And, dyed black hair and all this. But Guar was there, right? And so, Guar was getting ready to play, and Don and I were there, and we were kind of over by this place getting a beer, and we look up, and this golf cart comes by, and one of the Guar guys is on there, and the Guar guys all have on like crazy, these crazy masks and all this, rubber things. Yeah. And this one guy comes by, and one of his hands is a circular saw. That's his hand, and he goes by, and he drives right past us on this golf cart. And Donna looks at him. She goes, "Hi," and waves. I don't know why. And the guy goes, and with his little saw hand, like waves back at Donald's little circular saw hand, like waving at her. And it was just driving off, getting ready to go on the stage.
Oh no! Yeah.
I'm just laughing. I go, what the hell was that? She goes, I don't know. I just felt like waving at the guy. He's just like waving back.
Sure. Like waving at Edward Sitter's hand.
Oh, man, it was so much fun to watch that metal stage with these guys that would go in there and they would try to mosh, and then you could tell, like, all of a sudden they got about halfway through and realized, oh, I'm too old for this. And they would, like, bolt out and stand off to the side.
My big problem with metal music.
What?
Here it is. I can say that now we're far enough into the podcast where, like, there's literally zero.
Nobody's listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, my nephew, big fan of, like, just Metallica. God damn it, he just won't leave me alone about it.
Yeah.
Greg, I love you if you're watching this, but please stop it. All roads don't lead to Metallica. I'm sorry, they just don't. But we were in, this is, before he was married and all this stuff. So, and we were in, my sister, his mother lives they were living in Arlington. I don't know. I happened to be there.
Yeah.
At the same time he was. And he's like, I guess his name's Vinny, the drummer for Pantera.
Yeah.
So he's, he owns a strip club.
He
owned a strip club.
That's like the metal mecca.
Right.
To do that.
Yeah, it was.
That's metal mecca, right there,
It was a heavy
man.
metal. He said it's like they only play heavy metal music, and I said, he's like, we'd been out somewhere drinking, and it was like that the time of the night when that seemed like just a kind of a decent idea.
Yeah.
For him, and I'm like, I got a big problem with half of this equation.
Yeah.
The heavy metal part.
Yeah.
Like I got a problem, and he's like, look, I'll pay for everything. I'll pay for everything. I'm like, okay.
How do you go wrong with that?
And you had to like take your own
What?
beer in.
Oh, it was in a dry county then, probably. Yeah.
So he like bought a case of Shiner Bock, took it in.
Yeah. Oh, Shiner Bock, you guys were shitting in high cotton right there.
And like within about 5 minutes, I was ready to leave because I'm like, this is what I don't like about this music. A woman cannot like even do a decent table dance.
What kind of music?
Well, I mean, it was just. I mean, what?
Here.
Who thinks that's Edward Norton and American?
Wait. I think you're confusing strip joints with sexy.
Well, wait a minute.
Especially a metal strip joint and sexy.
There's no. I mean, a metal strip. It's a bad idea. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah. No, I'm with you. I've never been a metal. I have friends that will look like your nephew will tell me you're missing it. Yeah. And I swear to you, when I was in high school, I tried to listen. And you'd think in high school I'd be into it between drinking and smoking weed. You think I'd be into it. And it never resonated with me. And I have no problem with it. Because I can tell you this much. They play fucking tons faster than most people do. Faster than I could ever play.
It's almost just like the bluegrass of...
Oh, it is.
I mean, you can't, I mean, look.
Oh, yeah.
You can't, but like, I'm a guitar player in a heavy metal band. Okay, can you play...
Oh no, you can play
Are you amazing?
You can play the shit. Yeah. I mean, like what we're playing blue stuff, you're like, okay, but metal, it's like there's a guy that I know out of this band, he's in Sweden, is Johan. I can't think of his last name at the moment. That guy can play fucking everything, but it's all metal. But it's like the guy can, I mean, it's like when the word shred, it's like shredding up that neck, and it's just like I don't know how.
No, I don't either.
I don't know.
Get it. I don't
now, it doesn't resonate with me in the sense of that.
I mean, it's like acrobatics in a way.
It is. Yeah.
Like, oh God, that guy ran a 100-yard
dash. It's sort of a weird thing. It's where I totally respect their musicianship. I look at it, and maybe this is how I should look at jazz. Maybe back to jazz, is that I get the musicianship, but it doesn't grab me. But I hear it, and I understand and I get exactly why guys. And I always say guys because it's guys.
Yeah, it's kind of guys.
That get into this just get them riled up and shit. Oh, yeah.
It seems like, well, for one thing, to me, metal music is kind of divorced from the blues.
Oh, I agree with that.
I mean, like,
I agree with that.
Stylistically, for the most part.
Yeah.
Although I do remember hearing, under that certain influence, and hearing, like, some real heavy metal. it wasn't Pantera, but it was something like that. And like the guitar playing was so fast. And I don't have a problem with like I was talking earlier about, seeing P-Funk and that guitar player playing, Maggot Brang.
Yeah.
And it was just sheets of sound, which is like, that's a thing that was used, the first time I ever read about that was like talking about John Coltrane.
Yeah.
Like Love Supreme.
Yeah.
Just like these, like somebody could play so fast.
Yeah.
That it's like
I get you. It just almost plays over itself.
And so there's also an artistic, like visual artistic, like pointillism, where you just, and like I got it one night, like listening to the radio, hearing like this heavy metal, like, and I remember thinking like, this is like ZZ Top at like a much higher tempo.
Yeah, yeah.
And I could hear like just,
yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. It's almost like, look at one of those stupid pictures. I hate these things where you look at like,
to get
look at, yeah,
3D, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, I finally got it.
Yeah. That's a good analogy, man. I mean, I like that because, I got to tell you, when it comes to Pantera, Jesus, man.
All right, go.
Okay. When it comes to Pantera, I mean, they were a Dallas band. I'll tell you this much. I used to see those guys around in Dallas, and Phil Asamo, and he used to date my friend Kat. Kat dated for a long time.
Is he the singer?
The lead singer. And I tell you this much. I would see that guy at concerts, like the Pixies and stuff like that. And that guy was a big fan of music. He'd be up there pogoing and jumping around and everything. And then one time we saw Dimebag Darrell. What was it? It was a Marilyn Manson opening up for 9 Inch Nails at a rodeo arena.
I love it.
At a rodeo arena in Dallas. And Dimebag, and Don and I were there. We took our daughter and a friend of hers there. And Don and I were there. And we're sitting up in the stands. And Dimebag was about 2 rows in front of us, right? And everybody else is out in this rodeo arena, and they're jumping around and everything. And it was like Pigpen from Peanuts. Just this dirt was like kind of hanging around everywhere, right? And but all these kids were coming up to Dimebag and like, oh my Dimebag, and he was so freaking cool with all these kids. He had a whole pocket full of picks. He was giving these kids Dimebag Darrell picks, and these kids were screaming just how cool it was to get this. And that's what I liked about him, because I like, he could have easily been a dick and like just leave me alone or whatever.
Well, they lived in Arlington or something.
Oh yeah, something like that.
So my nephew, when he was, he was a teen. He was a teenager, and he was living in Arlington, and like a friend of his said, "Oh, I know Dimebag," and took my nephew over to Dimebag's house. I think, or somehow. I mean, I'm getting the story mixed up, but like somehow he wound up meeting Dimebag, and he's like, man, that guy was so cool. Yeah, and he was just, So I mean, like, everything I've ever heard about that guy was just super positive, and like he was just, and he took, like my nephew, and who was just a kid, just a fan, and just like made him feel like you're one of the, you're one of the.
I mean, how great is that?
I know. What a shame.
I mean, it's like there's that old phrase like you don't want to meet your heroes, True. But when you meet somebody and they are just, you're used to, look. Whatever bet you think you need to pay off to me, you're paid. You're whatever bet that is, you're paid.
Give me my soul back, bitch.
You're paid up. Here's your soul back. Quit drinking that best made shit, please, for the love of God and all that is holy.
Hey, that's a good question. Have you ever met one of your musical heroes?
Yeah.
Tell me. Dígame, amigo.
Yeah, it was a pretty wild. Story's gonna impress some people and gross out other people.
I hate it.
You really? No. You've already made your determination.
Well, no. Yeah.
Let me just tell you, you're right. No. I took a trip to the South. Oh, okay. There we go. Got his Elvis glasses on for this one, because this happened in Memphis. You didn't even know that. You didn't even know that.
I don't know. No, go
Didn't
tell
even know
me.
that. Having in Memphis. And speaking of glasses, this all started at Sun Studios. Sun Studios. I go to Sun Studios. My friend Bill Chatfield and I are there. Go to Sun Studios. And Bill was not feeling good because we've been drinking a lot, so he was passed out. And I went to go take a tour at Sun Studios, and there's a band there with me. And I'm like, yeah, these guys got to be a band. So I started talking to them, and they're called Cobra Verde out of Cleveland. And they go, hey, tonight we're opening up for Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr. and Mike Watt from the Minutemen, and the drummer, and they're called Jay Mascis and the Fog or something. And they go, hey, we're at the new Daisy here. When I started hanging out with them, they go, we'll put you on the list. So I go down there with Bill. He's back up. And then we meet our friend Jeff Evans from 68 Comeback down there. Watch it. Great show. Wonderful show. Finishes up. Hang out with the Cobra Verde guys. And I get to meet Mike Watt, right? Talk to him a little bit. He's one of my heroes. He's one of the Minutemen to me are one of the Minutemen replacements, REM, just greatest fucking bands. So hang out with him just a little bit, right? And then Jeff goes, hey man, he goes, I need to go see a guy in my band, my new band, CC Rider. He's playing over at this punk rock club. You want to go along? So Bill and I go, yeah. So we jump in Jeff had this old 74 Cadillac, and we're cruising across Memphis, and we go to this punk rock club, and you knew it was going to be a good club because it was underneath a fucking overpass. It was a club underneath an overpass. This is perfect. So we walk in, and have you ever heard of Jay Reatard of the Retards? Okay. It was Jay Reatard. Yes.
Jay Reatard.
So Jay Reatard is in there because Jay played played guitar or drums, I can't, with Jeff in a band called CC Rider, right? And so, but this was Jay's band called Final Solution. Fucked up name, right? So Final Solution. So Jay's playing drums. Yeah, I know. And so Zach, who I think is one of the, I could be wrong, he's one of the guys that owns Goner Records. I could be wrong. But the lead singer was up there, and he was so drunk. He literally has a beer in one hand and a mic in the other hand. And he's so drunk, he's singing into the beer. And he would,
and he drink the microphone.
And he would notice that it wasn't very loud, and he'd kind of look around and he would literally in his hand oh, start singing into it, and then he'd take a break like this, and they go back and start singing back in the beer again, and go, okay, I'll go back this, but right. So they play. It's fucking wild. So the show ends, and all of a sudden it stops, and Jay hits his drums. And I'm standing back there with Jeff Evans. Jay stands up, pulls his dick out, pees on his drum, pulls it up, drinks his own urine. I'm freaking out. And I just look at Jeff Evans and go, can you fucking believe that? And Jeff goes, yeah, man. He did the same thing last week in his tennis shoe. Didn't even fucking admit. And that's when I go, this is too punk for me.
I'm thinking the shoe just didn't taste good.
I'm thinking right.
It's this is just a bridge too far.
Yeah, but like I said, I got to hang out with Mike Watt, and Mike Watt is cool as shit. He's everything you ever wanted. He was one of my heroes, and you're talking about that. The guy is just fucking awesome. Just awesome. You couldn't think of him. He's very eccentric. But he's got this crazy dialogue. He's talking to what I would consider closer. He's very jazz. If I'm going to get into jazz because of Mike Watt, he talks about, he's like scatting out there and stuff. Have you met any of your heroes? Besides me?
I guess that's really it. I guess that's pretty much was it. Wow. Where's the gun? Where's the tower?
Oh, I heard there was a rumor about a tumor.
I did.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. When I was living in New Orleans, I was at this, it was an award show which, like everything else in New Orleans, is just an excuse to get drunk and listen to music and eat good food. And it was the offbeat, yeah, it was offbeat magazine, which like a
local
offbeat.
rag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm confused because my crazy boss used to go, oh, the Beat Off magazine.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, and so anyways, the Offbeat Awards, and it was great, man. You know, it was this cool place, and there was like all these, lots of great food, and I was at the bar, and I'm just standing there, like, in the back of the bar like this, and like I get a drink, and I turn around, and like close to me, Alan Toussaint.
Oh my God! Really?
Alan Toussaint, who is a legitimate,
amazing. He's a god.
He's the second generation of New Orleans.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy, he produced a Paul McCartney record.
Yep.
He produced
Yep.
Wings, blah blah. I don't know which one, but Paul McCartney sought him out. You know? And it was him, and he just looked, and I'm like, of course I recognized him. I'm like, hey. And he just looked at me and he went, hey, man. And I mean, it was like, and I've done a little bit of like, I used to go like do Zen Buddhist meditation at this place. And I met some of the Rinpoches or whatever. And that they would have a way of like looking at you where you're like, my bullshit doesn't work here.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Like they see.
Yeah, you mean like right here?
You're not seeing. You don't see through me, but they saw through me. And Alan Toussaint saw through me. You don't see through me. You don't, because you've got way more psychological problems than I do. And baby, that's I have left the building.
Just knocked over your beer. So, what did Alan do?
No, he just looked at, and he just went, hey, man. And the way he looked at me was terrifying.
What?
It just terrified me.
You mean terrified you like you're afraid to say hi?
No, it was terrifying because I realized he saw it completely through me.
Oh, really?
Like all my bullshit, he was like a Zen master kind of like a Zen, which I would expect Alan Toussaint to do. The guy used to drive around. He used to drive around New Orleans in like he had a Rolls Royce, like a gold Rolls Royce or something.
Oh my God!
And like the license plate on the front said piano, and on the back it said player.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, which ain't even legal.
I know. I just say. Who wants this? Alan Toussaint. Make it happen.
Piano player. Stamp.
Yeah.
Working.
All right, you prison boys, get after it.
Yeah, I mean, he was a god in New Orleans.
Did you talk to him, or were you too afraid?
I mean, the way he looked, it's just like, hey, what are you doing here? He's like, well, I got an award in a minute, and I'm like, of course you do.
Yeah, really. What are you doing here?
Don't you have an award every year? And I mean, but the thing is, he wasn't like going, yeah, I'll see you. I mean, he was. I felt like the guy would literally have stood there and just talked to me until he had to leave.
Wow.
He was completely absorbed. He was just like,
yeah.
He was present.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's what I mean.
Exactly. No, I know exactly what you mean. When somebody's present, you're almost taken aback.
It was scary.
That you're talking, and you shouldn't think this way, but you're almost like you're talking to me.
Yeah.
You shouldn't think like that.
Well, that's what you're saying. But this is like,
that's what you do because you're like a
minor
hero.
deity status.
Oh yeah, a hero, and you're like, oh my God. So no, I know exactly what you mean.
Another time, my friend Mike and I went to see Nico Case.
Yeah.
At Liberty Lunch.
Yeah.
Which you never went to because you didn't live here.
I'm not cool enough. Okay, back to you.
And she was opening up for like Whiskey Town. Remember Whiskey Town?
Ryan Adams. I love Whiskey Town.
Yeah.
Ryan Adams, a lot of issues.
And we went more to see Nico Case actually than Whiskey Town. Although Whiskey Town was great, but she was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, here's the coolest thing. God damn it!
I've seen her a couple times. I love her.
I got a prop out here for Nico Case I think she did the coolest thing I've ever know of a musical artist doing.
Yeah.
Before that show, she had a merch booth, a little tiny stable. This was like 1996 or 7.
She had just come out of new.
I mean, she had a merch table like
this.
this, this.
Ooh,
and I went, and and I was like, I was like, do you actually work for Nico? And she's like, yeah, I actually do. And she's like, I was like, did she ever do this song called Duchess? Well, I mean, she only had one record out. It had, it was Nico Case and her boyfriends. It's called The Virginian or something.
Yeah.
The first record I think she did. And there was a song on there called Duchess, which just blows my mind still to this day. And I said, did she ever do that song? She's like, I have never heard her do that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's a bummer. I love that song. And I bought a T-shirt. And then, and like watching Nico, and like halfway through the show, she said, we don't ever do this song. We've never done this song.
What?
But somebody out there wants to hear this.
Oh, my God.
And she played Duchess.
Oh, my God.
And I mean, it was like, and they did it flawlessly.
Oh, man.
And after the show, I was like, are you kidding me? You did that for one fan?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
and then
cool.
after the show, like in between her and Whiskey Town, she came out, and I'm like, she was just walking like in the right. I'm like, Nico, thank you, God, I'm the guy that wanted to hear Duchess. She's like, really? And I'm like, I'm happy to do that. And she talked to me and my friend Mike, and she stood out there and talked to us until we were both like kind of uncomfortable. Like,
I know. Have you ever talked? ever talked to some like people that you love, and you're like, you probably ought to go do something else. Talk to someone else.
No, she was perfectly happy to stand and talk to us. And I mean, she's just radiantly beautiful. I mean,
she's really pretty.
Nico Case,
But she's just awesome.
I gotta think, I just loved her from minute. Just
I agree.
Well, listen,
listen here. We're
in the gloaming.
I know the sun's starting to shine in our eyes. We've already run through one SD card. We're into our second SD card. We're into, let me see the time frame here.
You want to see me do my David Caruso invitation?
Oh, yes, please. I know exactly what it's going to be, and I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did to your putty tat.
That guy was always like, yeah. And then put the glass on, like, yeah.
Well, I guess you can call that a rap.
If that was a bow, I'd put a button on it.
yeah. You gotta go see like Jim Carrey does like 3 different David Caruso.
Oh my God!
Where he's like, yeah, I did to your putty tap.
If this is a book, would be to the epilogue.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, man. I think we're gonna have to. We're at a minute.
Well, that was fun.
That was
that was fun.
That was a fun.
My message for the New Year's is everybody take care of themselves, love each other more, and listen to more Miley Cyrus.
And I'll listen to more jazz.
Listen to jazz. Look,
Yeah.
Everybody, we got to take care of each other.
No,
This is it.
This is good. We haven't done one in a while.
I know.
And I think we're both a little bit like, okay, what are we doing here? And it's awesome.
Yeah.
I love this shit.
Yeah, me too.
So anybody write us. We'll write you back.
Yeah.
I will.
We'll
What about
read it.
Dave?
Well.
We want to act like we care.
What?
We want to act like we care. It's 2021. It's a year for caring.
Of course we care.
It's a year for caring. We're an hour.
I care about you, my brother.
We're an hour and 30 minutes into this.
I love you,
so
my friend.
there's only like, to be honest with you, I can tell you the only person listening to this point, I'm going to give a shout out right now.
You don't even look at them. You don't even watch them.
That's true.
I mean,
I tried. I was gonna, and I didn't. But I made a real concerted effort not to talk over you this time. I really did, because I'm really shitty about that. I'm horrible about that. because I just love hearing me talk.
Thanks.
And you're so fucking awesome. I don't need to be talking over you. So that's why I'm really, really working hard at it.
I'm not crying. You are.
I know, Miley. And so, no, my friend Billy Bake is probably watching at this point. So I got to give a shout out to Billy Bake.
Billy Bake.
Because he's probably listening right now. And my friend Bill Chatfield, maybe. Bill Chatfield.
I want to meet you guys someday.
My friend Billy is like going, that guy Dave sounds so cool. I go, you're so fucking wrong.
I would have respected you if you didn't.
All right. This is Brian Fourier, the Cajun accountant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, coming to you, tell you to eat that total soup in 2021. What do you got to say, Dave?
Oh, yeah. 2021. It's the year to remember. Not yet.
Yeah, okay. All right. This is it. Raconteurista. Listen to it watch it on YouTube, listen to it on whatever. Do 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 do. And
Well, just cut it off. We're already beyond.
We're done.
We've
All
just
right.
totally lost.
Peace out.
But wait.